Politics in this country have taken some unpredictable turns in recent years, but one has been happening quietly in the background of all of the noise. Many Asian Americans, long considered a voting bloc that Democrats could count on, have started shifting to the right. New York's Chinatown is just one example of this. Democrats would often win 70% of the vote there, but last November, New York's Republican candidate for governor, Lee Zeldin, received more votes than Democratic incumbent Kathy Hochul. In the majority Asian American District 49 in Brooklyn, Zeldin won 61% of the vote, helping make Hochul's win much closer than expected. And then in Texas, Republican Governor Greg Abbott fared better among Asian Americans than his challenger, Beto O'Rourke, 52 to 46%. About 32% of Asian Americans voted Republican during the last presidential election, and that is compared to 24% in 2004. It's all according to the Asian American Legal Defense and Education Fund. Joining me now is the newly elected Assemblyman from New York's District 49, Republican Lester Chang. Assemblyman Chang, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Veronica. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, Assemblyman, I wanted to go ahead and start on somewhat of a personal note because I know that you are a lifelong New Yorker, but I wanted to ask you if you're also a lifelong Republican, or after some time, did your political ideologies shift to the right?
Well, I was originally a Democrat at 18 years old, so I was young and stupid at that time after high school. But eventually, along the line, I see the changes here, and I became a Republican close to 20 years already. So I stayed Republican at that time till now, and I'm firmly a Republican right now. I will not change.
Well, what was the turning point for you? What caused you to change?
Well, definitely is education, crime rate, and I think the other party have not met our community interest, our Chinese community interest. They have not fulfilled that, and that's what made me change party.
All right, well, you just mentioned the crime rate, and there has been a huge jump in hate crimes against Asian Americans, especially since Donald Trump started calling COVID-19 Kung Flu. I want you to go and take a listen to this, and then I'm going to get your response on the other side.
COVID-19, that name gets further and further away from China as opposed to calling it the Chinese virus. I can name Kung Flu.
So, Assemblyman, how does that make you feel? I mean, how do Asian Americans square joining the party of Trump when you hear that type of anti-Asian rhetoric?
I'm disappointed. There is a scientific name called COVID-19, so I prefer to be called COVID-19. That's a proper scientific name, and that's WHO announced that. So I hope he will have that course correction in the future and never to repeat that kind of speech. It's very divisive itself.
But this is a leader of the Republican Party. You know, this is a leader of the Republican Party. We know that the Republican Party has extremes to deal with beyond just Trump. I mean, especially when it comes to things like racism, white nationalism. For example, former Representative Liz Cheney, who was the vice chair of the January 6th committee, tweeted this about how the House GOP leadership has enabled white nationalism, white supremacy, and anti-Semitism. So how do you and other Republicans at the local level handle some of the things that you are seeing right now from your party leaders on the national scale?
Well, for me personally, the most important thing is to stay the course and represent my community, my people right now. That's, I guess, what the former president have done is probably rhetoric at that time. But I have to ignore that because I have to deal with the immediate issues right now, crime right now. That is my most immediate issues, as well as meritocracy on school system itself. And that's being attacked in New York.
So when it comes to this shift that we're talking about in Asian Americans and their political leanings, how does it break down socioeconomically? Are there certain Asian American demographics that are more likely to vote Republican, and if so, why?
In New York City, okay, it's for core family value we look at. First thing is public safety. Second is education opportunity. And third is quality of life. And public safety is perhaps the number one importance in New York, maybe not perhaps in other states. And as you can see, we've been attacked by Asian hate. We've been attacked in the subways. Local businessmen has been attacked by smash and grab, robberies. So that's the first thing is public safety. Second is education right now. Is they changing from equity instead of meritocracy. And that would really galvanize my community. They're changing the rules of going to in a high-performing schools. They've been changing the rules on that since the pandemic came out. The rules has been fluctuating. Many of my constituents, the Asian community, parents spend money on tutoring kids to go to specialized high school or going to a better high school. And when they find that entrance is pure by lottery rather than meritocracy, they really got angry. And that's one reason that I'm here. I represent them because I stand my ground. Meritocracy and parental school choices are the number one concern, in addition to public safety. I need to hold that line. And with public safety, since the last mayor, Mayor de Blasio, and the city council have repealed cashless bail. And that really transformed the crime rate here. And when I hear crime rate, one would say felonies, one would say robberies. I'm talking about petty larceny, the smash and grab, the shoplifting, the fair jumping of the subways. People see that every day and they don't get reported. That's what make my community very angry about that. That's highlighted for these people every day.
Assemblyman,
and is that being reported?
Asian American hate crimes have jumped by 300% since the former president started talking about COVID using anti-Asian rhetoric. How do you speak to your constituents about public safety, knowing that this was one of the root causes?
And that makes my job much more difficult. And I have to make sure that my party change that message into positive. That hate crime is not tolerated at all, or even anti-Semitic is not tolerated at all. We have to change that message. And I hope the party leaders will support that. And I do, in my heart, that they do. I don't think the last president had anything against the Asian or the Chinese, but perhaps that's rhetoric. But my focus right now is current, real life, real down to earth. And I hope that this message that the last president mentioned gets buried. And that doesn't help my cause, doesn't help our cause in New York, is divisiveness of being Asian hate. We need to go forward.
Assemblyman, May is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. I wanted to ask you about representation, especially among Asian Americans in politics. What do you make of the numbers? Are there enough Asian Americans in politics, especially on the Republican side?
I hate to say I'm the only one in the whole entire state, on the state level, even the city, as a Republican Chinese, not Asian, as Chinese in the whole state. I think I broke the glass ceiling, unless somebody correct me on the record, but I'm the only one right now. As of right now, I know, but previously I don't think I am. There is one at city council maybe 15 years ago, Peter Koo, but he changed party to a Democrat. But on a state level, I'm the first and only one that's Chinese American.
And I congratulate you for that, sir. But I wanted to ask you why you think that is. Why do you think that you are the only one?
So first is many of the Asian or the Chinese are registered Democrat. Because for many decades, the Democrats have been very good about promoting their cause, promoting their politics, that you get the benefits and you vote with majority, you're protected. And now they see that that's not really entirely true, that other communities which are stronger based than the Asian one are getting more favorable treatment or favored towards their interests and not our interests, which is public safety and school education equality and meritocracy. That theme has been changing for the past 3 years, and that what led me to where I am right now. And the people sees it, they know it, They are angry about it. When I go door to door knocking, and you have to understand, my district is 6 Democrat to 1 Republican. I have to convince every time I knock on the door on the Democrats is why to vote changes. And my message is very simple. Are you better today than you were 2 years ago? Are you safer today than you were 2 years ago? Are you safer riding subways today than 2 years ago? And don't vote for me if you feel that you're better today. But if you want to do the change, vote for me. And that's what happened.
Well, Assemblyman Lester Chang, I congratulate you on winning your election. He is the Assemblyman from New York's District 49 in Brooklyn. Thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.